Welcome friends, I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and when I started my blog a few months ago I decided to give myself a getting started challenge to make as many cards as I could with minimal supplies. I've decided to give myself that same challenge with the products from the new 14-15 annual catalog. Many projects, few supplies. And for my stamp set this year, I thought I'd use Something to Say. I liked this set because it's got something to say about a lot of different events that you may need a card for. It's got a few images on it, and it coordinates with a punch pack, our punch pack. And so, crash. So this is the set that I thought I'd use this year. Here's my list of minimal supplies or few supplies. You're going to need cardstock. Now I would suggest Whisper White cardstock because this really is the most useful. It's great cardstock for stamping on. I usually use a lot more color than just Whisper White though, and so I thought I'd add a little bit of color with this Designer Series paper pack. This is called Moonlight, and it's got a lot of nice patterns that are not that are useful for a lot of different events. There's some masculine, kind of feminine, and kind of things that would be appropriate for kids. So I'm going to use this cardstock. It's a really nice size because it's a little bit bigger than a basic 4.25 by 5.5 card. And so you can use this for the card front, plus have little bits and pieces for decorating inside or whatever. If you didn't want to use the Whisper White cardstock, this year we've got something called Cut and Ready card bases. And they can come in, you can get them in white. I also suggested on my website that you might want to use the white or our in color cardstock that coordinates with the Moonlight. Our in color colors are, if I can remember them off the top of my head, my favorite is the Lucky Lagoon, and it's Lost Lagoon. Honey, this yellow color is Hello Honey, and we've got Tangelo Twist. There's Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow. And so all these cardstocks will coordinate for you. And so I also got let me keep going down the list. You will need some Whisper White envelopes, and I actually, on my list, on my minimum supplies, said 1 pack. I actually recommend that you get 2 packs. You get 40 envelopes, and so if you are making my project, if you get 80 envelopes, you will have more than enough cardstock and supplies to make 80 cards, and it will make your cards be $1 something per card. I forget exactly what it was. Check my website for details. You will also need some ink, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can get the cheapest way to do it is to get a pack of the in color markers. And to give yourself a little more flexibility, I suggested a black marker as well. And I grabbed the wrong one. Well, a Calypso Coral, where is it? There's the Calypso Coral stamping pad. Because we're going to use some embellishments, and the Calypso Coral will coordinate with that too. So the next thing down on my list is the punch the Itty Bitty Accents Punch Pack. And you get a heart, a flower, and a star, and you see that they coordinate with these stamps. And then this year, just to help you get a little more color on your card, you can get a pack of sponges, and they're really, I think they're $3.50 if I remember right, for 3 sponges. So that's a lot of bang for your buck. You may even only need 1 sponge, because what I do is I cut the sponge up. I cut mine into 4ths, but you can cut it, I think you could cut it into 5ths and have enough for these colors, or live wild and cut them up into 4ths. And I put a piece of cardstock stapled on as a handle, and so that way when I start using them for my colors, I don't worry about getting them mixed up. So there's our Mossy Meadow, Hello Honey, Lost Lagoon, Tangelo Twist, and Blackberry Bliss. If you want to make your life easier and you've got some more money, for under $30 you can buy all 5 stamp pads from the new colors, and there is a pad and paper, cardstock and Stampin' Pad deal. So if you get that deal, you can get some of the cardstock from each of these 5 colors for just 20 cents, really is what it breaks down to. I didn't mention that Something to Say comes in both wood mount and the clear mount stamps. I bought wood mount, but it's actually a little bit cheaper if you buy the clear mount. You can get the B, clear block B, and it will fit every stamp in this set. And then you can use this clear block for other sets that you may get. It's a little bit small for a lot of sets, but that one will get you started. You're going to need some embellishments, and so I mentioned that I was using something different for embellishments. I decided to get the Tag-A-Bag accessory kit, and this will give you a lot of options. The accessory kit, let's see, how much was that? It's $7.95, and for $7.95 you get a spool of baker's twine. You get these clips and the Stampin' Dimensionals. You get these strips that are like washi tape. They're adhesive tape that you can use as embellishments. And you get 2 sheets of large and small tags that can be used as stacking together or individually. And so this will give you a lot of options for your cards. And then ribbon, and this is the Lost Lagoon ribbon, and I love it. It is so soft. It's 3/8 inch. So these are the essential ingredients for your stamping, your work. Some other options that I think that you should add is some adhesive. This is a snail adhesive, but you may have some adhesive at home, so that's something that you could set aside. I love these snips. Again, these are scissors that you probably have some scissors, but these are certainly worth the price. They've got a nice sharp pointed tip on them that are great for cutting things out. And honestly, I at this point in my life, I can't imagine really working very hard on cards without a trimmer. You may have a trimmer. You can get by with just a mat knife and a ruler. This is a nice tool though for, you can score and you can also cut nice straight lines, and it's really quick. This is $30, so it is a bit of an investment. When you have all this stuff though, maybe what you want is neat and tidy storage. So if you want to go ahead and buy some of our clear stamp cases, they come in the clear mount stamp cases, and there's also wood mount. I don't have any empty right now. Buy some of those, and then I've made some labels that will get you organized. This one's labeled for Moonlight, the Moonlight Designer Series paper, and it fits in very nicely, and you'll see that I've already experimented with a couple of cards, so I've got some scraps. So once you start using this, it will keep your cardstock nice and tidy, and it really fits pretty closely. I've also made cases, and well, if you buy this is the wood mount size, and I've made a label that you can just print and slip in. These cases have a clear liner, and so I've printed these papers that you can just slip in, and it will go with any of the stamp sets that you get from Stampin' Up. It's not quite as nice as theirs, but this one's big enough to hold your basic tools, and so you can put your punch pack, see if I can get them back in the way I did before, your snail, your clear block, your snips, and you may, it was a tight fit, you won't be able to put them in with this case, but it is a tight fit with the blade cover on it. And there's also room for the snail, for the bone folder, which is another tool that I recommend that you use, but you can get by. Oh, and the sponges. These will go in here. I knew that there was lots of space in here. And so that will tuck away nice and neat. So I'm going to make a stack here. I've got my stamp set, my tool kit, my Designer Series paper, my embellishments, and I had a couple of extra little plastic bags because I'm thinking that really what I want to do is fold this tape. It should be plenty, in fact I thought about cutting it. It should be plenty big enough for any card size that you want, even half size, and that'll help it fit in the box. And I'm going to go ahead and punch out all these tags and put these in the plastic bag. So I've got all my tags in bags now. I took a break in the video to get that done, and I've got barely room for my baker's twine, but I have plenty of room for the clips and that the 3/8 inch Lost Lagoon ribbon, and that just barely fits in. That baker's twine is kind of thick for this box, I think. I may need to do something different with that. It fit in here earlier. I think I just need to maybe take off that plastic bag maybe. So I've got the embellishments, and then I've got another box cover for the card bases. Now what I would suggest to you is to go ahead and cut up and fold your cardstock. You won't be able to get it all cut up, but I've cut some in half the long way, that's 4 1/4 by 11, and I've cut some that are 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And these will all fit in the envelopes. And you can get quite a few card bases, and maybe half the pack of envelopes in here. And if you decide to get the cut and ready card bases, you'll need to go ahead and open these up and fold them, but they should all fit in this box. So we'll pretend they're all folded up in there. I have another box for the Getting Started inks. So if you decide to go with the markers and the Calypso Coral, there's enough room for one stamp pad. The markers, there's plenty of room for lots of markers in this box. And if I get that set aside. The only thing that doesn't fit in here is your uncut cardstock and your stamping pads. I can only get one stamp pad in these boxes. But what I would suggest to you is that you put them in a different box. This box, I don't know if you can see it with this, yeah, I don't think so. But these will all fit in to, this is the large die box. They will all fit in. And there's plenty of room in here in this box for your stamp pads if you decide to get the full stamp pads. If you decide not to cut up your cardstock, that will fit in nicely. And the rest of those envelopes will fit in. There's plenty of room still if you decide to put in your sets from our last year's challenge with Everything Eleanor. And actually, I originally put them all in this way so that you can actually see what you're reaching for. The only one I wouldn't do that with is the one with the inks, because you want to lay these flat. So if you put them all in this way, you can have all your stamp pads. Oops, there's one more down here. There you go. You can have your inks laying flat. And you've got your room for your extra stamp sets. And if you did it last year, you've got the decorative label punch and the ribbon. You probably have some of that left over. There's plenty of room. You can put the lid on it, and you know what? This is near perfect fit to put your trimmer on top. Let me see if, there you go. And then you're all set in one little organized batch. If you have more questions, want more details, come over to my website at bevadams.com, and I give you more details and links for all these purchases, and stop by and see the cards that I make with this set. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.